This case began as a dispute between a Mexican worker and his American boss on a tunnel digging project in Mexico in 1880. The worker claimed to have been underpaid by 12 cents. The American was offended by the worker's conduct towards him and ejected him from the house. Things escalated. The worker and his friends began throwing rocks at the American and at other Americans in his house. They advanced with a machete. The American fired into the air with a pistol and then fired a shotgun at the man with the machete. Things escalated further. Soon a mob surrounded the house, perhaps 1,000 people. The Americans called on the local mayor for assistance, and he sent an armed detachment of police. Instead of restoring order, however, those police fired on the house, killing the Americans inside. Youmans was one of the Americans killed. His son sought compensation from the Mexican authorities. The question of law was whether the state of Mexico was responsible for the conduct of its officials, in this case its police, when those officials were acting directly contrary to the orders they'd been given. The Commission acknowledged that sometimes an official who grossly exceeds their authority might reach the point where their conduct can't be attributed to the state. However, they said, clearly it is not intended by the rule asserted to say that no wrongful act of an official acting in the discharge of duties entrusted to him can impose responsibility on a government under international law, because any such wrongful act must be considered to be outside the scope of his competency. If this were the meaning intended by the rule, it would follow that no wrongful acts committed by an official could be considered as acts for which his government could be held liable. From this, they concluded that Mexico could be, and in fact was, responsible for the conduct of its officers, even when they weren't following orders. They then considered what happened after the crime and said, the Commission is of the opinion that the record shows a lack of diligence in the punishment of the persons implicated in the crime. This also led to liability for Mexico. The principles emerging from this case are that states have an obligation to protect foreign nationals from harm by their officers and to diligently investigate if such harm occurs.